Well, my name is Reinhold Kliegl. I'm an experimental psychologist, and I've been working in the domain of open access and open science for about the last 10 years. We are here at my department, that's the Department of Psychology at the University of Potsdam in Germany. In this work group, the primary focus was on how we should move our scientific way of communicating with each other and in communicating our results, how we should move and transform the system in the face of the new challenges and the new opportunities that we have given the internet and global unification. So in that interdisciplinary work group, and talking about the changes in the publications, which of course represent the core of our knowledge. As soon as we talk about publications, there are at least three protagonists we have to take into account. First, there's of course the perspective from the scientist. Okay, how are we confronted with the publication system? Then there is of course also the library perspective on the publication system. And third, publications currently are published by publishers, by big companies. And so, of course, whenever we are talking about how we want to transform our our publication system, make it compatible with the future, we have to also take into account the perspective of the publishers who control a lot of the access to this kind of knowledge. The working group was a working group of the Berlin-Brandenburg Academy of Sciences. And there are two ways working groups can sort of publish their recommendations. One is to publish them as a recommendation of the working group. And the more ambitious goal is to convince the academy as a whole to adopt these recommendations as, if you want, a policy of their own. Now, our working group, not without problems, but after heavy discussion, was able to get that acceptance by the academy as a whole, and by doing so we sort of can claim that our results are of, if you want, elevated scientific and social relevance, and also that obviously it passed the threshold of being of very high scientific and ethical standards. So our working group was composed of both scientists, natural scientists, and social scientists, as well as colleagues from the humanities, which in German are called the Geisteswissenschaftler. Nowadays, and given the developments over the last years, it sort of seemed at the outset quite unlikely that we would be able to come up with a set of recommendations that this heterogeneous group of scientists could agree upon. I was quite skeptical about that myself, I must say. Now, we actually achieved it. So these recommendations are passed by natural scientists as well as colleagues from the humanities. And I think the reason we were able to achieve this is that in the end, we all realized that what still unites us is that we want to communicate our results about how we explain the world, at whatever level we are looking at it. We are using the same outlets. We are using books, we are using publications. And we all want to make use of the new opportunities that are afforded by these outlets, talking about living documents, many other things. And finally, I think that also in the context of our discussions, it became clear that none of the groups has sort of a monopoly on what is the best way of proceeding and has a monopoly on advanced knowledge. For example, I think that our colleagues from the humanities are much more sophisticated about making sure that metadata are available for the data they publish in the internet or in digital form, compared to the way our natural scientists often deal with this problem.